Alright, good evening everyone. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run Thraben University, a site for legacy death and taxes. And 99% of the time on this channel, I'm going and playing Legacy Magic the Gathering. Today is sort of an exception. I've been having a lot of fun playing Slay the Spire. I picked this game up last week and I'm just like totally digging it. And I kind of wanted to show this off to the stream. I know I'll probably have lower viewership numbers than normal on here, but I think that if you like Magic and you're interested in other games that are kind of like Magic, you'll probably enjoy this a lot. So kind of what this is it's a deck building game similar to Dominion or Ascension, but it's spliced over in RPG as well. So you start off by picking a character. There's sort of like a brawler character. There's sort of like a strategic character who often gets payoff for playing a lot of poison or playing a lot of cards in a single turn. And then there's sort of a robot who can use things that really look like they're magic, but they're actually like technological orbs. And it's kind of the closest thing this game has to like a caster class. So I'm going to be showing this game off today. A run of this will, maybe take like an hour and a half. It's not going to be particularly long. But I've been having a lot of fun, and I hope you'll enjoy it as well. So just kind of like show off the basic game and introduce this to Magic players, I'm going to start with the Ironclad, who is sort of our warrior-like character. He has the ability where at the end of each combat, you can heal 6 HP. And we start on a journey where some sort of like magical whale thing goes and gives us some options about what we can do sort of in order to start our runoff. So we can just get a rare card, gain some gold, or we can do one of the things that has a drawback in order to get a more powerful effect. Just looking at our starting stats, we're going to have 80 life, 99 gold, and 3 slots for potions. Our initial deck is very plain. It'll be familiar to you if you're used to seeing like Dominion or Ascension starting hands, where you have like 2 types of cards and then kind of 1 specialist card. So we have some strikes for damage, some defends for block, and then 1 more powerful attack that also applies a status effect. So, what do I want to do? I think I'll just take a random rare card. Whenever a card is exhausted, draw a card. Exhausted kind of means you're getting rid of it. It's like a 1-use effect that's powerful, but isn't necessarily objectively awesome for your deck because you only get to use it a single time. Looking at kind of our legend here, each one of these different spots on the map represents a way to go to get to the boss. And our boss requires us to be stronger than we are now. So I'm going to be fighting a bunch of little enemies along the way, and hopefully fighting some bigger elites that offer better rewards, and then there's a handful of other things on here as well. I'm just going to try to find a path where I can fight multiple elites, if at all possible. So it looks like I've got 1 here, 1 here. So if I go this way, I can fight 2. So every time you encounter an enemy, you'll get to see what it's going to do on its next turn, and that kind of informs your decisions about what you're going to be doing. So I don't need to defend since he's going to use some sort of buff attack. So I can just hit him twice, defend, and end my turn. Your initial deck size is pretty small, so you get to see your cards very frequently. Unfortunately, this random rare card that we got at the very beginning, we have no cards in our deck right now that exhaust themselves, so every time we draw Dark Embrace, it's going to do nothing, which is quite unfortunate. Now our opponent is going to do 6 damage, so a defend will negate 5 of that, making it so I only take 1, and then I can whack him once. The enemy's buff that they're doing is increasing their strength every turn, so I have a strong preference to trying to get this thing dead quickly. I I can deal 27 this turn, which is not enough to kill it. So I'll just do what I can. One thing I didn't really understand the first couple of times I played this game was how much of a focus there is on defense rather than offense, because health is kind of a precious resource. With the exception of this character, who heals after each combat, you don't really get a lot of opportunities to go and heal up. You might get like 2 or 3 campfires where you could possibly heal in a run, but that's about it. So I tend to play more defensively than that. Alright, so he's not vulnerable anymore. So I can deal 18 plus 9, 17. I can't kill him. So I'm going to take a hit. But I should have him dead next turn. Sort of like in Magic, HP is a resource, where the only point of life that truly matters is the last one, but you don't want to necessarily put yourself in dangerous situations for no reason. Alright. After each combat, you get a chance to add a new card to your deck. And we've got one that will kind of build towards a synergy. When I lose HP, gain a strength. Strength increases damage. We have a powerful attack that adds a bad card to our deck every time we use it. But I'm just going to take something that will give us strength. Question mark spaces allow you to potentially do something random, which often will result in you getting a relic. And those are powerful cards. The nice thing about this card is the strength upgrades that we see there are permanent. So anytime I go and use one of those, like for the rest of this combat, I'm going to have 3 strength. It doesn't reset end of turn or anything. The beginning of the game isn't necessarily like the most interesting thing in the world because like you don't have the opportunity to make too many decisions. The game gets increasingly more interesting as it goes along, though. Alright. So this costs 1 energy less for each time I lose HP this combat, deal 18 damage. I'm not really in the market for that yet. I think I'm just going to take another card that gives me strength and try to work towards a build that will go and let me abuse all of the like tons and tons of strength that I can make. So I can sort of permanently buff myself, and then I can deal 18. But these little guys sadly have something that will, the first time they get hit, they gain a bunch of block. Actually, I guess I can flex. So that lets me kill the back one. And my block negates this attack, so I don't actually end up losing anything here. And this is not... Oh, it is going to be enough to kill him. So I'm getting a regen potion, an explosive potion that will deal 10 damage to everything, and then a 20 damage fire potion. None of these cards really speak to me, but something that applies a status effect is good. The weak status effect will make opponents do less damage. You walk into a room to find a large hole in the ground. As you approach the hole, an enormous serpent creature appears from within. Ho ho, hello, hello, what have we got here? Hello, adventurer, I ask a simple question. The most fulfilling of lives is that in which you can buy anything. Do you agree? If I agree, I gain a bunch of gold, but gain a curse, a negative card that's in my deck. I think I'm going to take that. If I make it to a store, I can remove it. Am I going to make it to a store? I do not have that option anytime soon. And my deck's really small, so if I put that in my deck, I'm going to keep drawing it. Okay, I could go diagonally, so if I go this way, I can work my way towards a store before the boss, but doing so would mean that I miss out on both the elite enemies I want to kill. Alright, I'll skip that. So I'm going to take some damage no matter what this turn. Which is sort of unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. Take a little bit of damage again, but then I can set myself up to do more damage and potentially just kill this guy on the next turn. Although it might take 2 turns. Hopefully he just uses a status effect or something, so I don't care. So these will do 9. And so I can make it through this turn without taking any damage at all. So I get a temporary buff, then I can deal 8, 16. This might be enough. Yeah. So this is a game where your sequencing matters a little bit. Well, I should say a lot, especially when the turns get more complicated because you have more cards in your deck. How many ways do I have to add vulnerable to this guy right now? Just the bash. This isn't amazing. The cool thing is, if they have vulnerable, this becomes free. But I think I'm going to take a defensive card. Like, very similarly to Magic, if you have cards that cantrip, that is, cards that draw a card and do something else, it's very, very useful for you to go and play those out. Alright, so I get to upgrade one of my cards since I'm not weak enough that I need to, like, rest at this Spire. Upgrading the bash can make it so that this lasts for a few more turns. Going and upgrading something like spot weakness would make it so I gain more permanent strength. Or I could upgrade this to get more block while I'm cantripping. I think I'm going to take the more permanent source of vulnerable. So the 3 in the 3 vulnerable there refers to the number of turns that that status effect is going to last. So it lasting longer is unquestionably better. So he's going to try to hit me for 13. And I guess most of that is just going to happen. It's not that big of a deal taking a little bit of damage since, like, my Burning Blood artifact, or relic, lets me heal 6 HP. But I don't want to keep taking big hits like this. That's a little devastating. I don't think I want to, like, pop a regen potion or anything yet. Like, I kind of like to save my potions for moments where they're very critical and they, like, keep me from losing a lot of resources. And if we end up, like, resting before the boss anyway, like, it might be that I've kind of, like, wasted something like this. Alright, so I can get some weak so he won't do as much damage in the future. And that's nice. So weak means that he'll attack for 25% less. And now I'm going to get less block, which is unfortunate since he's attacking. So I can deal 8, 16, 24, plus another 20 is 44. I could use 2 potions in order to kill him off. I don't think that's worth it. So I'll eat a little bit of damage here. So I could flex. I can deal 14 to you. Could make it 17 to you, and then deal 20 with this potion. I guess I'll be a little more defensive and try to finish him off next turn. This will be 11. No, I can't do that. I'll just take the damage here. At 34, Even if I just draw like 2 regular attacks, I can finish him off with the potion if I need to. Could kill him with the potion, but since he's just doing some sort of status effect, it's not super necessary. So that was our first elite enemy, and whenever we kill one of those, we get a relic. So whenever we would deal 4 or less unblocked attack damage, I increase it to 5. So if I get like some spells that don't deal a lot of damage, but have another effect attached to them, that might be good. Okay, so Thunderclap is one of those things. So effectively this would say 5 damage to all enemies and invulnerable. That's very good. Havoc is nice because it would like work with Dark Embrace, but Dark Embrace, like I would have to draw Dark Embrace and then play this, and this card only happens once since it has this exhaust keyword. That means it's removed at the end of combat. So I think I'm just going to take a more generically okay card. Little 15 by this symbol here means that this character is going to go and like steal 15 gold from me every time that he attacks me. So if I clothesline him, that and a defend gets me pretty close. But I don't think I actually want to take any damage. I'd like to just try to get through this fight and heal some HP back without taking damage. This guy doesn't hit very hard as a whole. So I can shrug it off. Won't quite be able to kill him, but I can make it so, again, so that I don't take any damage. We want to kill him within another turn or two, because he might try to flee and just run away with my gold, and I don't really want that. So if I bash him, and then I strike him, I can just finish this off with the potion and save myself a bunch of life. And I've still accomplished my goal of walking out here with some life back. I'm going to take another one of these spot weaknesses. I don't know that I need a second, but if I build towards a strength-focused build, maybe I can do something there. Alright, whenever you add a power into your deck, upgrade it. Sounds great. As you come to a dead end and begin to turn around, walls slam down from the ceiling, trapping you. 3 faces materialize from the walls and speak, "Forget what you know and I'll let you go. I require a change to see a new space. If you want to pass me, then you must grow." And so we get an option to, like, remove a card, change a card into something else, or upgrade a card. Normally I try to, like, very aggressively remove cards from my deck, but this Dark Embrace that we started with is like a dead card for us, so I want to just turn that into something new. Berserk. Yeah. What does that do? Alright, gain 2 vulnerable, which means I take 50% more damage, but at the start of each turn, I gain 1 energy. Alright, satisfied, the walls in front of you merge back into the ceiling, leaving a path forward. So I can fight another monster, or I can go to another question mark space. Let's see what happens. As you make your way down a long corridor, you see a banana, a donut, and a box floating about. No. Upon closer inspection, they are tied to strings coming from holes in the ceiling. There is a quiet cackling from above as you approach the objects. What do you do? Alright. So, healing is okay. Max HP is good. Obtaining a relic but becoming cursed. Tricky. I think the max HP is the safe move, but obtaining the relic is like the high risk, high reward play. My deck size is growing a little bit, so there's not as huge of a downside of obtaining a curse, although it will matter. I'm going to try to obtain the relic and see what we do. Start each combat with 1 strength. That's powerful. You grab the box. Inside you find a relic. However, you really crave the donut. You are filled with sadness, but mostly regret. I like this game. Like, the little dialogue prompts are kind of funny. I've enjoyed them a lot. Alright, 2 of our 3 little friends here are going and attacking. Which probably means that I don't want to play this Berserk card. Because it'll make me take 50% more damage. So I can strike, 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 and kill one. Because, like, this is effectively at 19, and I can deal 21. It's fine. Like, killing one of these is the same as saving damage equal to their attack. So I guess I go strike, strike, strike. I only take a couple more damage. I guess I will do this. I'm greedy. There's that curse. It's going to cost me a couple points of life. So this makes my foes vulnerable. It also gets rid of their little curling up thing. But then I don't really accomplish much with the rest of my turn. I guess I can, like, play this and have it fail, so I only lose 1 life to that curse. Oh wow, that thing got 6 strength. So I'm going to try to draw a card that matters. That'll count. So I can buff myself, kill this creature, and then take this out next turn with certainty. Even if it, like, puts a negative status on me, I don't care too much. So, the Barricade card is neat, but I'm not really a hyper-defensive deck right now. I'm really focused on building up my strength. So with strength, cards that hit a lot of times become quite good. Now we get an opportunity to fight an elite, to go and get another relic. Fortunately, we can't use our spot weakness this turn. I will probably use this as an opportunity to drink my regen potion. You only have 3 potion slots, so if you go and find more than those, they kind of go to waste. So, my hopes is I can pop this regen potion here, make it through this combat relatively well, and then not necessarily have to rest before the boss and upgrade another card. So I can defend, gain 5 block. Kind of annoyingly, anytime I play a skill, this guy gains 2 strength. So I somewhat want to avoid defending, and I kind of just want to try to power through this guy. So, do I want to buff my own strength and give him a little bit more damage? It would set me up for the long term, so I can deal 13, I can deal 20 this turn, I can deal a third of his health. Is this going to be worth more than 7 damage over the course of this? Yeah, probably. I could also just, like, not use this and just whack him twice and take the damage to the nose. If I defend, I just increase his strength more, and then long term I'm in trouble. This is sort of an awkward turn for me because I have this regret card in my hand, and I have this X spell. So I might like to just, like, use this and hit for 18, but if I do that, I'll just end up taking 4 damage from this. So I probably need to go 11 plus 7. Alright. I can play this for 0 just to get it out of my hand and take less damage. I don't know that my plan of not resting is actually going to end up working here. So I need to deal 24. I don't have anywhere close to that in hand. I have a potion for 10 damage. I could also just buff his strength a bit and get through. Or I could increase my strength or use this explosive potion to try and deal more damage. So I can make you vulnerable. That means you take more damage. That turns into 10. Then I just need to deal 7. And I guess I'll throw away the potion. Alright, Incense Burner. Every 6 turns, gain an intangible. Which kind of means I get to reduce the damage dealt to me to 1 this turn. An enemy losing 2 strength is good before a boss, I guess. I'm not super excited about any of these cards, if I'm being honest. Getting another block in one of these defensive cards is probably fine. I'm going to take the disarm. Well, so I can defend for 10, but there's 18 coming in. I guess I can reduce that a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna fall behind a touch this turn. Like, I reduced this guy's strength, but I didn't really get anywhere meaningful this turn, which is a little sad. So I can make people vulnerable. A lot of vulnerable, actually. But I'm just taking damage from this guy this turn. So again, play that for 0, just try to get it out of my hand. And it looks like I'm going to end up taking enough damage that I'm not necessarily going to be able to, like, do the boss without resting. Didn't do so good on drawing the attacks here. It's better. I don't think I want to take more damage just to increase my strength. So I'm going to get to kill this guy, and the ooze isn't that big of a deal. It hasn't even attacked me yet. It's just done some negative status stuff. Alright. So I'll hit you. I can deal 13 damage and apply some weak. I guess I'm resting anyway, so that's fine. Unexciting turn. These spot weakness only work if the enemy intends to attack, so they don't actually do anything here. And we can kind of use whatever to kill him. Gambler's Brew, discard any number of cards, draw that many. Okay. Man, now we're getting all of these exhaust cards after we removed the card that benefits from exhaust from our deck. That's kind of how this goes. I'm not really convinced that any of these cards are amazing. Like, the Infernal Blade's good if we have a deck full of expensive things, but we don't really. I could just, like, take Sentinel as another block, which I guess I do. It's just not exciting. So whenever you rest, you only get a portion of your HP back. It's just not all free. Our boss is a giant slime. He's got some sort of status thing. Alright. When his HP is at or below 50%, it splits into 2 smaller slimes with the current boss's HP. I think we get to do nothing on our turn. So, the block, the spot weakness, the regret all do nothing. Let's discard most of our hand and try again. I'll keep the flex because if I draw attack cards, it lets me do something. So I guess I'll do that. I'll shrug off. This is a permanent effect. But I guess it'll go away when it splits. So maybe I should ignore that. Nah, I won't ignore that. But I played this turn wrong. I should have thunderclapped first and then done that. Alright, it puts 3 garbage cards into our deck. If we draw them, they'll do nothing. I will take this Berserk since we're in a boss fight. There's negative consequences for the first 2 turns, but then it'll be all upside after that. And I expect this fight to go kind of longish. Oh great, 37 damage. Well, that is bad for me. But we will heal fully after this fight. So, as long as we keep that last hit point, everything's okay. So our slime friend is going to split soon. So as soon as he gets to below 70, we'll stop whatever he's doing and make him split. So the more damage that I can deal this turn, the less damage the new slimes will have. So I think I'm going to pop the strength potion and hit as hard as I can this turn, so that I have to deal with a couple of small slimes instead of a couple of reasonably sized ones. So I guess we flex and just kind of hit these things for as much as I can. Since these have exhaust, I can play them to get rid of them, so I won't have to keep drawing them forever. But there are a handful of them in my deck right now. There's 2 more that I can draw. Oh, it looks like these ones have the split as well. So, like, once this thing takes half its health, it's going to split into smaller ones like these. But hopefully we can just, like, kill these off. Alright, I guess I can spot weakness, increase my strength, kill this, defend, get rid of that card, and just take one from that and none from the slime. This is a lot of damage, 16, and I have a negative status effect, which means I'll block less, so these cards aren't actually all that good. But I can make these enemies vulnerable, and then I can cause him to split. Or just kill him. Don't ever think if you can just get your opponent dead, do so. Alright, so we get some sort of rare card. This is really strong. It's a power, so it happens every turn. At the start of your turn, gain 3 strength. That's awesome with the direction I want this deck to go. And now we'll get some sort of powerful relic, but they often have drawbacks. So, gain an energy at the start of your turn. All enemies start combat with 1 strength. I don't know how I feel about that. On pickup, transform all strike and defend cards. So that will transform them into random cards. Which, that seems dangerous, because without defend in my deck, I might just, like, die to random stuff. Or I can just add 5 cards to my deck. The energy is very, very powerful. It effectively means that, like, every enemy will be attacking for 1 more damage. But I think I'm going to take that. There's some risk associated with it, but being able to play more than, like, 1 more card than normal is probably going to be worth a lot. Alright, so once again we've hit the bottom of a floor, or the start of a floor, so we need to go and plan out our route. I've got a decent amount of gold piling up, so I'm going to want to go to a shop at some point on this floor. It looks like there's three, and they're all kind of along this middle path. So I want to find a way that I can go to the shop and also fight some elites. Which involves not going this way. So I guess I could go, like, down... No. Okay, so if I go this way, I can curve over and fight that elite and that elite after going to this shop. Alright, let's do that. So what are these little thievy guys? 22 coming in on the first turn. That's not terrifying or anything. So I could just deal 24 to both of them. Then I would take 4 from this and a ton of damage here. Yikes. And if I play this, I'm just gonna like make myself more vulnerable and take even more damage. Well, this turn kind of sucks. So I can disarm one of these, play out this so I can hopefully kill them quickly. Cast that for 0, and then take some hits. This is like way more damage than I would like to be taking at the beginning of a floor. And these guys are just going hard and trying to go all out at me again. So there's 20 coming in, and I can block 15. Buff my strength again. I kind of end up at a negative again this turn, but I'm getting 3 strength a turn from this demon form. So that's... Why? Why won't they stop attacking? Please. So I can make everyone vulnerable, and then potentially just, like, kill someone. Alright, so I can deal 14 plus 20, 34. If I do this one first, it's actually 41, which is still not quite enough. Alright, so I guess I'm being defensive here. At least somewhat. Yeah, I guess I just need to, like, try to maintain my HP. I'm taking so much here. This is very unfortunate. And then I guess I can decrease the damage that one of them is going to do. And I guess it should have been the other one, because this one was attacking for 15, and this one was attacking for 13. Alright, so this can just kill the back one. And we'll defend for no reason. Now, as long as we don't just, like, draw all defensive cards this turn, I should be able to kill this very easily. Alright, so I flex. And it dies. So you can see the huge buildup that that demon form card gets over time. With the strength, cards that hit multiple times are very good. So I'm going to take that True Strike. And I think I'm going to try to avoid a little bit of combat. And so I'll go this way. Thwack! You are knocked unconscious. Groggy, with a throbbing head, you awaken to find yourself thrown in the center of a massive stadium. Hey, you remember what I said about avoiding combat? I don't think that's happening. Alright. With an overflowing audience of slavers, cultists, and other denizens of the city. An armored giant with a crown bellows at you from atop. We now begin the combat. A gate on the opposite side opens. Alright. Oh, you know, I guess thinking back to the last round, we can see the downside of taking this relic here, because, like, the enemies are starting with more strength and are just, like, attacking for larger amounts. I also don't have any defensive cards in hand. I'm just gonna be able to kill one of these, so I'll take 8, which means I'm at like a net negative of 2 for this combat already. Alright, so I can permanently do that. Draw a card with Shrug It Off, meaning that I won't take any damage here. Strike you. Do I need to Berserk? So you would attack for 25% more damage, but I've already got that covered pretty much. So I guess I take 1... Oh, I gained an energy that I could have used to defend. Alright, I took 1 unnecessary damage there for being an idiot. That's fine. Alright. So this should just kill my opponent. But I guess, like, gaining the strength first is just optimal. Well done, weakling. The giant mock claps while he riles up the crowd with exaggerated gestures. Gold and confetti shower you. Time for the real challenge. The last battle left a small opening in the Colosseum's wall. You can easily escape through there while everyone is distracted. Do you stay and fight? Yikes. Felchmaster, it's going well. I'm enjoying this game. I think it's a lot of fun. You know, obviously viewership numbers aren't going to be as good for me, like, just trying this out. But I wanted to, like, try it out and see what things were looking like. Alright, so what happens if I fight? If I fight, before I can get to a campfire, I have to do, at minimum, 1 more fight. Which is risky. Escaping is safe. Like, I kind of want to escape and work my way towards this shop and then the campfire. But if I make it through this, it's strong. I'm going to flee like a coward. So, I haven't managed to, like, build a deck that I would, like, specifically say is like Death and Taxes. I've built some really weird defensive builds that, like, go and hide behind a bunch of poison or some other, like, damage over time effect. That's kind of in the spirit of the deck, but I haven't quite gotten anything that's, like, quite that degree of synergistic yet. Although part of that is just because I'm still, like, learning the game. Alright, so I can deal 24 damage to everything, which is cool. These enemies are showing a huge downside of giving your opponent strength, because they attack for 2 damage 5 times, whereas normally it would be 1 damage 5 times. But I can disarm one of these, and then, like, its attacks aren't going to do anything ever. So that's awesome. I can defend and mitigate the damage from this, and then do a little bit of damage to everyone. Their flight ability is annoying, because they receive half attack damage. If you manage to hit them 3 times in one turn, they'll fall out of the air. Alright, this little friend is going to attack for 14. So I need to deal 27 in order to kill him. And it does not look like that's happening. Alright, so let's get some block. I can gain 10 more block. Puts me up to 18 block, but that only, like, reduces this and part of that. I guess I can weaken you and defend and walk out of this turn in okay shape. I'm obviously still taking some damage. I wonder if I made the wrong choice with this relic. Alright, so this incense burner has, I think, triggered for the first time. So any damage that I take this turn is reduced by 1. Unfortunately, none of them are doing attacks. And also, unfortunately, I can't do much. So I can make one person vulnerable and almost kill one person, or I can go for this demon form thing and try to stack up the damage over time. I think I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to play out as many of my cards as I can so that I don't take too much unnecessary damage. I think these things buff their strength. Yeah, unfortunate. feel kind of like I'm being bullied. That's how other people feel when they're facing me. Alright, so let's start with this, deal some damage to everything, and then let's see how many of these I can get dead. The Twin Strike will kill one of them. The Strike will kill another one. So I guess I'm in okay shape. And I don't want to play this. If I become vulnerable, I'll take damage, whereas currently I'm taking no damage. I have 5 block to 5 attack right now. So now I can just play out 2 attacks, kill the bird, and move on with my life. A card that gives me more block is very much wanted and needed right now, honestly. Alright, so we get to go to the shop for the first time. The shop sells cards, it can let you remove cards from your deck, and it has relics and potions as well. The relics are usually the thing that I go for. So I can upgrade 2 random attacks. Whenever you play 3 or less cards during your turn, draw 3 additional cards at the start of the next turn. That's pretty good. Prismatic Shard. Combat reward screens now contain colorless cards and cards from other colors. I guess that means, like, cards from other characters. That's neat. I haven't seen that before. I'm going to start by upgrading 2 random attacks. 2 strikes. Unexciting. I don't regret it. So I have 239 left. I can get this Prismatic Shard, or I could just, like, remove a card, or maybe pick up this feed. This is kind of like a weird shop sells cards. Maybe. So I haven't played this game for very long, but from what I understand, the colorless cards are kind of like non-faction cards, so I guess, like, my cards are mostly red. I guess these are colorless cards, right? So I guess it's cards like these that are not related to any one specific character. This feat is cool. Like, killing something permanently raises my max HP. No, I haven't kept up with paper prices much on Magic cards since, like, I've been playing more Magic Online and less paper events. I could also just, like, remove a strike from my deck and ignore this card. Nah, I'm gonna take it. It leaves me with 7. No, I can do both. I can math, I swear. Oh, I want to remove this curse from my deck. That was an easy decision that I just did not think about. Alright, so I can go Combat, Rest, Elite, and then I have a bunch of fires along this left-hand side. So what are those foil chromatic stars up to? I'm going to be, like, real sad because I used to have a bunch of them. So now you're going to tell me they're, like, $50 or something stupid. Oh, God. That is rough. Alright, so I get a status effect on this thing, and then I get to do a little bit of damage. So, like, I think I bought my foil chromatic stars for, like, literally a quarter, like, 7 years ago. Alright, what happened? Something went weird. Alright, I'm confused. So whenever I draw a card, I randomize its cost. So this could be very good sometimes and very bad other times. So I'll reduce the enemy's strength, and I can play 2 of the remaining cards. I guess I'll permanently increase my own strength and make my opponent more vulnerable. Yeah, I mean, buyouts are one of the big things that, like, cause the huge swings in Magic prices. That's not a surprise to anyone who has been, like, following the MTG finance thing for a long time. Like, the real question is always, like, was the buyout truly worth it? Alright, let's draw a card, see if we can draw into something that's free or cheap. Nope. So the rest of the turn kind of plays itself. Sadly, if I use this card here, It exhausts, so you can only use it once a combat. Otherwise, you could use it to like farm infinite max HP, and that'd be totally broken. Well, the good news is I get to play all of my cards. Do I have to kill this? Not quite, but close. Yeah, I mean, if you have Foiltron already for Modern, that's gotta feel good. Alright, I get to kill the snake. No harm done here. So I like all of these cards. Given that I'm like going in this strength direction, I should probably just take the Twin Strike. But I am feeling like I'm a little light on block. I'm taking a lot of damage. So maybe I should just take this. Oh, Foil Russian Tron. That sounds awesome. I really like Russian cards. I think they're just cool looking. Let's fight the elite enemy and see if we regret it. Alright, if we deal 11 to this, then I don't care about it. Well, I have no attacks to benefit from this rage. That's a little sad. 12 block means that I negate the one attack that's happening, and so I can buff my strength again. So while I didn't do any damage to any of my enemies here, I'm really set up for the future. Like, that flame barrier deals some damage back to the enemies that attack me this turn, and I have, like, 7 huge... Like, a buff of 7 is awesome. Hey, Bentley, welcome. Hope things are going well for you. Alright, so I get to flex. I can probably take out this guy with one attack, so he doesn't become a problem. And this is 30 coming in. I can... Alright, well, all of these cards are happening. And I guess I'll go with the big guy here, since I can't kill the little guy this turn. Man, you've been there for a while now. How soon are you back? So this whirlwind will kill... Alright. So I can probably somewhat... April 5th. Alright, that's not so bad. You're home soon. So I can probably safely berserk, since like I'm going to kill this, and he's going to do something unknown, which probably means he's going to summon another minion. So each energy I spend on this is worth 12 damage to everything. So let's bash him, make him vulnerable. Do that. Alright, I didn't actually end up killing that thing like I planned on it, but I ended up doing more damage to this and setting myself up better. The pun game is real, Belchmaster. Okay, so I can feed on something here and gain permanent max HP, which is awesome. I guess the question is, like, can I deal 75 to this turn? Probably not, even with my, like, hugely buffed strength. But I guess it's safe to, like, Thunderclap first. Feed, kill off one of these. Shrug it off. Kill the other one. And then defend and mitigate some of the damage loss. Oh god. I did not realize I was taking that much. Well then. I only have one attack. Oh no, I have 2 attacks. So that means I'm not going to play Demon Form. So I can permanently debuff you. Deal some damage. And then if I kill this thing, the things that it summons will just, like, flee because their leader is gone. So I should be able to just kill this. Yeah, there go the little friends. They're out of here. Alright. Negate the next 2 curses you obtain. Alright, that's cool. Exhaust all cards in your hand, deal 7 damage for each exhausted card. Alright. So the gold border at the top means that's rare. I guess that's good if you have a lot of card draw, which I don't have. Weak and vulnerable to all enemy for 3 turns. I'll take that. And I will rest. Is this a bad version of whatever Nick Miller plays? Nick Miller... Oh, you're probably talking about Hearthstone. So this is like a roguelike dungeon crawler like card game. So you take something like Dominion or Ascension and you splice it over a card game, and this is what you get. Start each combat with 3 thorns. Thorns mean that like whenever someone deals damage to you, they take damage back. Alright, venturing through a series of tombs, you're faced with a large sarcophagus, studded with gems in the center of a circular room. You cannot make out the writing on the coffin, however, you do notice black fog seeping out from the sides. So we got this relic that lets us ignore curses, so like, of course I'm going to do this. Alright, you push open the coffin, the fog dissipates harmlessly. Inside you find the mortal remains of a decorated soldier grasping an old relic. You pilfer it and move on. If you end your turn without block, gain 6 block. Okay. That's cool. Okay, so 13 damage coming in. What can I do about that? I don't have enough defensive properties, or quite enough killing power to just like power through these enemies. Indiana Jones, I don't know. I'm kind of missing the hat and the whip portion. Like I kind of look more like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, but with a slightly sadder sword. Alright, so let's set myself up for the future. So I'll buff myself, I'll mitigate some of the damage, and let's make the mage vulnerable to try to kill it. Alright, so the enemies have buffed their strength, meaning that more damage is coming in. Alright, I can flex. 18 damage, 2 weeks. So that 18 is actually 27. 27 plus 22 is enough to kill this, which is nice. But if I kill that, then this hits me for a billion D. So I probably need to do the 12 block. Decrease this thing's attack, so I'll take 1 damage total. And then I can still hit this. Can we get you to flex on camera? I mean, there's not a lot to see. Like, even if I remove this, like, the muscles, they aren't bulging. Alright, so feed will deal 21. Man, I have a sad turn. Because everything here doesn't really do anything meaningful. So, like, I guess I can shockwave and, like, debuff these things. And I really need to, like, do some damage with this card. But then the other 3 cards are just dead cards this turn. Weird flex, but okay. That is probably the best use of that phrase I've ever seen. Oh man, he healed? Maybe she, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think there's long hair. We'll go with she. Unclear. Alright, can I kill this turn for a total of 46 damage? So this... That's happening no matter what. So then this is 19 plus 15. Not quite. So that means I should turtle up as much as I can and deal some damage. Again, I'm going to try to work on taking this down. It is possible that we have a gender fluid mage. Certainly can't deny that. Ooh, a whopping 1 damage coming in. I like to see that. So the Twin Strike is a little overkill for killing this, so I'd like to just draw a Strike or some regular damage card in order to finish that off. I guess this is free, so I should do it. So Strike kills that. Twin Strike beats that guy down. And then I'm going to take nothing this turn. And from here on out in combat, I probably end up ahead. Alright, a lot of damage coming in, but I think I can just probably kill the opponent. I should map this out, but I think I can deal 36. Alright, what am I getting? Deal 2 damage 4 times. So that looks like it's bad, but if I draw it after a strength upgrade, it's actually very good. So like, say I had like 2 turns of Demon Form and I had 6 strength, all of a sudden that's deal 8 damage 4 times for 1. I think that's powerful. I am worried that I've made my deck too big. So I have like 4 defends plus a shrug it off, 5. I think I have too many offensive cards and not enough defensive cards. Alright, so 14 damage coming in here. I'm going to want to Demon Form, and I'm not going to want to play this. This has Exhaust, so I get to do it once. When I make it through the deck again, I'll want to do that. So I'll Demon Form and Shrug it off. Man, I wish I would have done my card draw first, because I would have considered just playing this, because it would absorb most of the damage that I would take this turn. But that's on me. Playing the Demon Form is still just, like, very good, because it, like, not exponentially, but greatly increases the damage over time that I can deal. So, like, this is now 9 damage 4 times. That's quite powerful. Alright, let's weaken my opponent. Now there's only 15 coming in. And I can block a lot of that. And I do probably need to preserve my life total here. This little book of stabbing can potentially do a lot of damage. I wish it would take a turn off to, like, not stab me, but, like, this, it has one job. Its job is stabbing. Alright, the turn plays itself. I just get to play all of the cards in my hand. No decisions necessary. We've got this thing at about half health. But it is hitting like a truck. Okay, this is nice. So whenever I play an attack, I can gain 5 block. So I can bash you. I did this wrong. Thunderclap you, defend. That mitigates 15 of the 20. And if I drink this energy potion to deal a strike, then I gain enough block to not take any damage. And then with a whopping 13 bonus strength, I should have this thing just dead the next turn. Alright, whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with 2 more energy. Great! I like this card. I think it's quite good, but again, I have so few defends in my deck right now that I, like, even though this is slightly defensive, I don't know that I can take it. So I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna, like, try to start just adding cards to my deck that are actively good or that are defensive for a little while. I'm gonna try to skip out on some mediocre cards. Alright. So I have 4 different attacks in hand, so I guess I can power through them. Alright, so notably, This gear symbol is an artifact, which means any negative status effect won't work the first time. And this thing has barricade, so its block doesn't go away at the end of turn. So this creature's kind of obnoxious. So we're gonna make that vulnerable so it... Phil, you just got done saying about how the status effects weren't gonna work. You're an idiot. Good job, though. Alright, well, let's keep putting a dent in this thing. It's kind of, like, this creature is kind of obnoxious because, like, if you just let it keep defending, it just, like, turtles up forever. So 21 damage incoming. And I can't potentially kill anything this turn. So I'll mitigate as much of the damage as I can and do a little bit. Maybe I messed up by not attacking this thing first. Maybe I'm supposed to just take it out. Ooh, that's the first time my Thorns has triggered from this relic here. Alright, so can I deal 27 to you? We'll find out. So I get to play all but one of my cards. I want to play this so that I take less damage. I've not played this one well. I did it again. I did it again with that debuff. So, one of the things I've noticed with this game is, like, while I'm still, like, learning it and getting better, it's really easy to miss stuff and make mistakes because of it. And the mistakes are somewhat punishing. So this is 12 damage for 1. So if I use this for at least 1, it kills this guy. The demon form is awesome and would give me a way to, like, really beat through the defenses. But I think I'm just at the point where I just try to, like, aggro this thing down without using any buffs. So I think I do that, and I strike, and then I whirlwind. Oh, hey, math, it's just dead. Skill potion. I can add a skill to my hand, and it's free for the turn. Alright, draw 1 card, put a card from your hand on top of your draw pile. That's nice for a 0-cost card, but it's card disadvantage. It's some degree of filtering, so I guess I'll take it for those turns where I'm just, like, trying to find blocks. And I kind of expect to die to the boss. We'll see. I'm not like super confident that my deck is good. Like, I feel very bad about this build. All right, so the enemy is doing an unknown thing, which often means that they're just gonna summon. I have 6 energy, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's start with drinking this. See what skill I get. They're all useless. That is so unfortunate. Alright, so what do I want in my deck for later? I guess a defensive card. Alright, so draw a card. Make it vulnerable, so it takes more damage. Actually, I could use this to just take a strike out of my deck. That's fine. Oh, he summons 2 friends. Ooh, so I got my intangible, meaning that all the damage I take this turn is just 1, so I can use this turn to be, like, as aggro as possible. Alright, let's start with this Warcry. I don't need to defend this turn, so I'll put that on top for later. Let's apply the status to everyone. That should give me a huge advantage over time. And I can deal 12 and 7. Or I can just, like, apply the vulnerable status for longer. 3 turns is a pretty good amount. But I don't really want to use this pummel. I would like to use this later when I get some strength. Ah, that's not true. I think I want to, like, take these out. Because while they're just all attacking for 1 this turn, I kind of get, like, a 1 damage... Or, sorry, like, a 1-turn buffer of this, because this only happens every 6 turns. So, like, this was my 1 freebie round. Alright, so this can be 24 to everything, which would kill 1 of these. If I use 1 energy, then all of a sudden that becomes... There's 6? Okay, so then that becomes 18 to everything. So 18 plus 12 is not enough to kill him. Alright. So the only point of life that matters is my last point of life. I'm going to take that philosophy in mind and play my demon form here. And then kill the 1 creature. I get 6 block for free due to my artifact, which is awesome. And the demon form, over time, will allow me to hopefully, like, really take advantage of the boss. Alright. So I get a bunch of free cards here. I'm not sure if I should play this Berserk. Like, 2 vulnerable is kind of scary, but the payoff is pretty good. I'll spot weakness, grow my strength again. I'll play a rage. That'll give me some life. And defend. Oh, 25 is, like, the perfect number. Oh, I don't know if I can afford to play that. Like, the first turn is free. It's the second turn that's scary. So, like, this turn I play... whatever, I'm gonna click it. So, like, this first turn is free. Because, like, no attacks are happening this turn. So if I can dodge 1 turn of attacks, or, like, block through 1 turn, then I'm in very, very good position long term. Alright, 21 damage is a lot. My hand gets to play itself. I have no choices here. I take a good amount of damage. But I now have a whopping, like, plus 13. Oh, yikes. 28. Am I gonna die? Let's find out. Disarm you. Flame barrier. Alright, so I'm alive. Just very sad. Oh, I got a vulnerable status still, because he used an attack on me. I don't get to do a lot here. Alright, so I can make you vulnerable, and then I can make you weak, and then I can just use this to get rid of a spot weakness that I don't want to draw in the future. If I make it out of this one, it's going to be on very narrow margins. I'm very glad that he's summoning and not trying to kill me. That's great. Alright. I think we've won. Something randomly can go wrong that I haven't foreseen. You know, we can draw no attacks, but if we draw an attack, this creature will die, and then I don't care about the minions anymore. Alright. We've made it. We've done it. Alright. So, whenever a card is exhausted, draw a card. No thanks. At the start of your... Alright, innate means you always start with it. At the start of your turn, lose 1 HP and draw a card. Ooh, so that's like Phyrexian Arena. That's great. That's very strong. Alright, or Reaper. Deal 4 damage to all enemies. Heal HP equal to unblocked damage. Exhaust. Yes. Healing is good. Defense is good. Alright, now we pick another one of these. Alright. Gain an energy at the start of your turn. Future card rewards have 2 less cards to choose from. You can no longer rest at rest sites. No. I do not accept. Gain an energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer smith. That is upgrade turns. Or upgrade cards at a rest site. That's fine. I'll take that one. Okay. So this is level 3 of 3 here. So I'll probably want to go to a shop at some point on this floor. Looks like we have some here. And then this is the furthest along shop. So I might actually want to angle towards that by taking one of the left branches. So it'd go like combat, combat, question mark, combat, rest. And then work my way up and never fight an elite this floor. But I probably want to fight this elite. Either way, I'm going to start out with this path. Alright, this guy is Thorn, so if I hit him, I will be sad. So this negates all the damage that I would take this turn. And then I can just work on whittling down the other enemies. I'm going to want to save this guy for last. Alright, they shuffle. This one shuffled like a Dazed into my deck, which is just like a dead card that will go away. Ooh, Feed. I could probably kill this thing and make it so that I gain additional maximum health. So this will deal 11. So this deals 10. That's not quite enough. I need to Warcry into another card. The X cards, you always deal it like for the maximum number. Oh, that's unfortunate. Actually, no it isn't. I can put this on top and try to use it next turn. So instead, I can Berserk. I guess I can take a little bit of damage. Strike this. Whirlwind everything. I'll leave them both almost dead. And then Feed is guaranteed to give me max health next turn. Alright, this is going to work out better than I thought. Yeah. So I can defend so the Thorns don't deal me damage. Feed on that thing. And kill off the other weird fish-looking thing. Power Potion gives me a random power that's free. And again, I think I'm going to skip cards that don't actively look good for my deck. Am I a coward and do I want to like not fight the elite? Or do I want to fight the elite? I probably need the relic, honestly. Like, I'm kind of weak. Let's angle towards it. Alright, well, walking and traversing through the chaos of the Spire. That's where we are, the Spire. Your thoughts suddenly feel very real. Imaginings of monsters and riches begin to manifest themselves into reality. The sensation is quickly fleeting. What do? You can fight a boss from Act 1 to obtain a rare relic. Upgrade all cards and no longer heal. Or gain max gold and obtain 2 curses. Oh, okay, Bentley, I'll explain that the next time we see some images. I'll tell you what's going on. So we negate 2 curses. So this is like gain max gold with no downside. So I'm going to take that. It's arguable that I should like obtain the rare relic. But the path I'm like obtain the rare relic, fight a boss, and then try to make it through 3 combats and rest. But I think max gold plus stopping at this shop right before like the boss will give me very good rewards. Can it really be this easy? Okay, so Bentley, let's look at the things that are coming above their heads. So whatever symbol is right here is the enemy's intention. It's what they're going to do. So a sword means they're going to attack. There's like a purple thing. Oh, you mean the Hedrons. Well, oh, I see now. They're there for decoration. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, to just finish the thought, the purple ones and the yellow ones mean they're doing some sort of like status effect type thing. Alright, so we can make you lose 2 strength permanently. We can War Cry. The Shockwave doesn't do much this turn. Or, sorry, the Flex doesn't do much this turn, so I'll save that for later. Weaken our enemy. It's possible I shouldn't have used the feed, but I don't know that, like, I'm going to cycle through my deck and find the feed again. Alright, you're dealing a whopping 1 damage, which means I'm just going to hit you as hard as I can, as many times as I can. Alright, 16 life left. Please be 16. 15. You don't want to take 15 damage. Alright, let's try to drink this power potion. Please do something. That's unfortunate. Rats. That's a bunch of damage I did not want to take. Alright. Another block card. That's great. And it also exhausts cards, which is something I actively want. Oh no. I've gotten killed by this thing so many times. Alright, so this thing is weird. It has fading, which just like in Magic means it disappears after a while. So this will kill itself in 5 turns. It also has this ability where every time I deal damage to it, it loses that much strength for the turn. So if I like can power through and hit this thing for 31, it will do 0. This power is very risky, so I'm not going to do that. So let's weaken it. And strikes are just like better than defends against this creature. Just because, like, the amount of defend or attack that we have, like, those put together, is effectively the amount of block that we have. Alright. So we can gain some strength. We can shrug it off. And I can still play all of these. So I can flex. Sentinel. Double strike. And that. Alright. So we're coming out ahead here. The thing that we're going to have to worry about is, like, the last turn, he will probably, like, try to do an obscene amount of damage to me. Alright, so I can turn him weak, so that he'll deal less damage. That probably needs to happen. Now he's only dealing 38. Alright, so if I gain 3 strength, then that's actually very good with Pummel. So 9, 18, 20, or I guess those are by 13s after being buffed. I just can't count. Alright, so fingers crossed that this is going to be enough. Alright, so this is 12 times 5. Is that at least 45? Yes. Is there something else I want to do more? Probably not. But that's free. Alright, so I need to make it through one more turn of this guy. This one's covered. But the next turn he'll probably, like, just do some stupid amount. Alright, 51? Thank you! Thank you! Alright. So, the Reaper means that I'll deal damage equal to unblocked damage. So I'd like to find something that can buff my strength. Did not find it. So, like, this doesn't apply until the next turn. But hey, healing for 16 feels pretty good. Very, very happy about that. Gain 2 wounds to my hand. Gain 15 block. That's not bad. The wounds will deal me damage over time, and they're unplayable, I think. Or no, they're just unplayable, but they don't do anything else. So this is like a good, very good short-term card, kind of a loose long-term card. But my deck's big enough that like the wounds probably don't matter too much. So I'm gonna take that. All right, I'm gonna take 2 seconds to just refill my water. Alright, so we're in combat again with the thing where its block doesn't go away. And then we've also got creatures with thorns. Alright, so let's kind of plan things out here. I don't need my defend cards this turn, but I might next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and send back the True Grit for later. And then I just play everything out. I have 5 blocks, so I can mitigate any Thorns damage. So that's just free. This guy's going to be a pain. He's going to be very tanky by the time I get around to actually killing him. Thunderclap is good, since it just hits everything. Making a creature weak is also nice, but I can't use it on that because it will ignore the debuff. And I'm going to try to remember that this time. Alright, so let's spot weakness. Gonna defend no matter what. Thunderclap everything, make them vulnerable, except you. I guess I could make you weak now. Or I could just ignore 9 of the damage. Ignoring 9 of the damage is probably better. Although it does send away my clothesline. But again, probably not that big of a deal. Alright, a lot of damage coming through there. So this can gain me 16 because like I'll deal unblocked damage to these. That's very good. I'll take 10 in process of hitting both of those though, which is a little unfortunate. So I guess I can power through, gain 11 block, Reaper, hit everything. Oh man, so close to being able to kill the bigger one with this. Alright, kill the smaller one with that. Get some max HP. And I don't want to hit this twice. So I'll take some of that out. And get 6 free block from my artifact. Alright, I'd like to deal 27 to him this turn in order to get rid of him. Bash will deal 21, but that's my only source of damage this turn. That kind of stinks. Alright, so I guess this is mostly a defensive turn. So I can Flame Barrier this, and I could gain permanent strength or just like work on these shields, and I think I'll do that. because it will make this vulnerable for the future. We end up quite a bit ahead this turn due to our thorns and the flame barrier. Alright, let's make you permanently lose some strength. So now you're only dealing 18. Unfortunately, I don't have much to say about that. I have no defensive cards in hand. Or do I have something to say about that? I do have something to say about that. Alright, that went better than I anticipated. I thought that was going to be a very bad turn for me. So now we're going to be looking to like have 9 block before we hit this at all. And Pummel is not the sort of card we want against that. I think I'm going to pop a Dexterity Potion. Dexterity means I get more block to just like help me mitigate some of the damage I would take from the thorns. So I can go another defend, strike this thing, block the damage that I take back, strike this thing, and kill it. Alright, happy with how that went. 6 damage base, plus 2 additional damage for every card named Strike in my deck. So it's 5. It's only plus 5. Alright, so that's not actually exciting. Skills cost 0 when you play a skill exhausted. So that would mean my defends cost 0. But then I don't get to draw them again. That is too risky for me. Yep, I'm gonna skip all those rewards. Am I willing to fight the elite? I need to fight the elite to go to the shop. Or no, I guess I could go to the campfire. But I can't smith. Alright. We are fighting a giant head. That's neat. Slow. Whenever you play a card, Giant Head receives 10% more damage from attacks this turn. Cool. Alright, so Warcry. We'll figure out what I want to keep for next turn. Probably the Power Through. Well, I guess I can negate all the damage it does this turn. Or maybe the Feed. Yeah, let's take the feed later. So I can flex, disarm this, power through, not care about the wounds, and still deal an okay amount of damage. Okay, it looks like I probably am going to have 4 turns before this thing decides to do something stupid that I will be very sad about. Alright, so let's spot weakness, buff my strength, go for long-term rewards here. Pummel's starting to look pretty hot. So now I can pummel this thing, and then do a little bit of healing. Quite happy with that turn. But I am not on track to deal enough damage to kill this thing by, like, that turn 4 that it's threatening. Alright, so I Thunderclap this, make it vulnerable. I'll make it weak. I'll strike it down. And I guess I block. I am scared. Alright, he has weakened me, so this turn I'll deal less damage, and he's going to do some other status effect. Actually, if he's going to do another status effect, I should just negate it by drinking this. Playing those block cards doesn't really get me anywhere. I'm very scared of, like, what's coming this turn. I don't actually know. Alright. Alright, kind of a unimpressive turn. I'll take some degree of damage. I mean, it's a good chunk. But it was not as scary as I was anticipating. This is going to be a setup turn of some nature, so Demon Form plus Shockwave, probably. And I'm fine with using Berserk. Take more damage short-term for, like, better long-term prospects. Why are you still here, indeed? Ah. 43 is a lot. No way am I anywhere close to killing him. I really wish that I had that intangible right here to ignore this. That's not the world that I live in. And he's already weakened, so I can't do that for more. So that gives me some defense. Alright, we did a lot of damage that turn. But if he keeps saying sassy things and his damage keeps ticking up every turn, or like stays at this rate, I'm falling behind. Or I guess I'm not like entirely falling behind because my strength is ticking up as well. Oh man. Have I lost? I don't have any attacks currently. This just applies vulnerable, so that's not doing anything. Uh-oh. I may have lost. So this deals 22, actually 24, actually 27. I think I'm dead. Alright. I've tanked it. So I think our deck was not very good. So we didn't get a chance to remove any of these strikes. We had to remove a curse instead. And, like, our deck was very large and not particularly focused. I was trying to go for things that had strength payoff, but I don't think I got enough defensive cards to balance it out. Or maybe I just took too many cards. I don't think I played perfectly. Like, I definitely made some mistakes. We had payoff coming. Like, if I made it past this elite, I would have gone to that shop and, like, gotten a huge, huge payout. So, maybe what I did wrong was, like, since I had so much... I don't remember when I got all the gold. It was from whenever I did the gladiator fight, I think. Or no. Alright, whenever I got the gold, I probably should have, like, gone for a shop immediately, rather than trying to, like, wait as long as possible to go to a shop to buy the maximum number of things. I guess it's just, like, really a question of, like, when did I encounter that thing that gave me all that gold? I guess it was here. So I guess it wasn't a misplay to, like, not go to this shop. But it was just, like, unfortunate that we couldn't pivot. Maybe I got greedy and I could have just, like, went around the elite. But, you know, it is what it is.